All right, welcome back to the channel. I hope you continue through the process of this winemaking series where we're digging into the weeds, the fine details from primary all the way to bottling. Well, today we're talking about fining your wine, or I like to call it refining, because that's what we're doing. We're refining and we're really getting down to where we need to bottle this. So let's just get into this video.
Season get wilder. We could get a little wilder. Take some clothes, but leave our phones. It's better with someone than it is alone. Let's get
Fining your wine is a necessity in the winemaking hobby. You want to look like a professional. When you give this away, you don't want to give it to people that there's stuff floating in here. Now, hopefully as you went through this video, you know at this point, we've racked this wine a couple of times. That's what you want to do before we start fining our wine. A couple of times, 2-3 times, don't over rack it. If I can give you one good piece of advice when you're trying to clear your wine, is don't overdo it. I'd rather you let it sit in the carboy for longer than doing many rackings. It's just not necessary, and you're just going to get oxygen into your wine. Make sure you're checking out our new book. It's on Amazon and in my Amazon store. It's got all our procedures in it and all our wine recipes. It's a must-have. So now if you take a look at this wine after multiple rackings, I think I've done it twice so far. It's still not clear. I could let this go naturally, and in a couple of months or maybe even a couple of years it would take to clear, but we want to speed this up, right? We don't want to wait years. I'll be dead by then. Now, I'm just going to give you my success stories because that's what I know. There's two products that you've seen me use on this channel, and the first one is this super clear, or it's like Cheeto sand and Casilosol. It's a 2-part fining agent, so we're going to show you how to use that. And always my go-to is Bentonite. I love this stuff. This super clear is faster than the Bentonite, but I like the results of the Bentonite. Yes, the racking will clear it, but these two options will clear it faster and much better. Use it. It's natural stuff. Bentonite is a volcanic clay-based material. It's natural. It's how water is filtered through the earth into wells. People that have wells at their home, it's being filtered by this stuff in the ground. Bentonite is done basically the same way. This is going to give a positive and negative charge to your wine and pull it to the bottom. Super clear is kind of a similar process. It's going to charge the particles in one, and then you're going to add the other one, and it's going to fully charge the positive and negatives, and again, draw those particles to the bottom of your carboy, which is what we want. So let's just get started in showing you these two products. The very first thing we need to do, as you're going to see in this part of the video, I need to get my strawberry wine into a carboy and rack out that sediment. And the same way with the banana. We're going to rack it. I'm going to speed through this because I want to get to the point where we're adding this fining agent. Oh, and don't forget to sanitize your carboys when you're racking into them and all your equipment that's coming in contact with your wine. Since we're going to use we got two wines. We got the banana, we got the strawberry. I'm going to use the Bentonite in one and the Casilosol in the other. But let's get the Bentonite mixed up. Make sure you're reading your package. For this particular brand, the LD Carlson, you need 2 teaspoons for a half a cup of warm water. So that's what this is, warm water, and I'm putting 2 teaspoons, and that's sufficient for up to a 5-gallon batch. That strawberry is only 3 gallons, so this is plenty. Now, all we're gonna do is mix this up into a slurry. The idea here is to break all the clumps up in this. So that's what I'm gonna do. Fast forward this and just show you here that we're just stirring it into a slurry. So now all I'm gonna do is I got this slurry mixed up. We're gonna put it at the bottom of our sanitized carboy, and we're gonna rack the wine on top of this. And I'll fast forward this part until we get to the point where it's all finished racking. Now, the super clear or liquor QUIK, that's a little bit of a different process. We gotta rack this banana wine into a fresh carboy to get that sediment out, and then you add the super clear. So that's what you're gonna see in this part. I'm gonna rack this banana into my sanitized 5-gallon carboy. All right, you can see we got a lot of gunk. Don't get this into your wine, because once we add these fining agents, we're done. It's bottling. Waste a little is okay in this hobby. Now you can see after this racking, we got a little bit of a problem. We're short in the carboy. I got a whole video on how to deal with this, but remember my 1/10 rule. Now the strawberry is almost filled. We don't need much, so adding a little water is okay. Remember to leave room, because we're gonna put that stir paddle in here and stir this bentonite, so that's fine. When I have this much, I could add water. My 1/10 rule comes into play here, but I got some Chardonnay that I made a while back, and it's just gonna complement this banana wine very well. Don't be afraid to use your wines as topping wines to get this filled up. You're still gonna drink it. All right, so here we go. This ain't gonna be enough, but the rest I'll just fill up with water. Get all that wine. I filled this up with some water, so I'm just gonna put some of this in. Again, remember your stir paddle's going in here, so don't fill it all the way right away. I think that's good for right now. And keep your airlocks on. Oxygen is your enemy at this stage. Now, we'll start with this strawberry. Remember, we got the bentonite at the bottom of this thing, and we're gonna actually stir this for the next 2, 3, 4 days. 2 to 3 days will be sufficient, because I want to compare these two. We're going to get this in here and we're going to stir it. Now you want to stir it to the point that it's getting mixed in. You're breaking the clumps. We're going to scrape what's off on the sides down at the bottom. And what we're trying to do is charge these particles. That's what this is going to do. Charging the particles will make it easier for everything to get settled to the bottom. Now, you can see some of the gas bubbles coming out of here. That's a good thing. I don't degas my wine just because adding this bentonite is going to do some degassing for us. And what I'll do is I'll come back in about 24 hours and just stir this 2 or 3 times, and then we'll fast forward to the next phase here. I think that's good. Let's get to the banana wine. It's time for that super clear, that amazing stuff. All right, here's banana. It's time to get this in here. This 2-part super clear, or some people call it liquor quick. There's all kinds of stuff like this out there on the market. This is just my favorite. I got links to all this stuff you see in my videos in my Amazon source. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's a one-stop shop. So what the instructions say, you got 2-part, you got this smaller part, and then you've got the Cheeto sand. This is the Casilosol on this side. So what it says is you take the Casilosol and you put it in here, and we're going to show you in this part of the video. You put it in and you just stir it gently. So let's get that done. A lot of you's asked, how do you know when it's ready to get your fining agents in here? It's the only way I can describe it is it's best when you start to see your hand through it. Not totally clear, because that's what this is going to do. Your fining agents are going to make it crystal clear. With experience, you'll learn when and when not to do things in this part of the hobby. Like, when is fermentation done, and when do I get it into my secondary? Again, this whole series is covering all of this. So that's it. We don't want to stir too much, because we don't want to get a lot of unnecessary oxygen in here. I got my sanitized airlock there. Get that back on. Now what it says for part 2, which is this one, wait 1 hour to 24 hours before adding that. So I'm going to come back in an hour and show you how we're going to finish this up. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half to 2. Like I said, you have up into 24 hours to put part 2 into this. But what it says is you take 2 ounces of warm water, which is what here, that's basically 2 tablespoons. And then we're gonna open this and we're gonna pour it into that and mix that up a little bit. So here we go, pour it in here, get it all out. And just so you know, this packet here, this 2-part series is good up to a 5-gallon batch. So this is a 5-gallon batch of banana. So there we go. We're just going to stir that in just ever so slightly, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this airlock off and we're going to pour it in here. It says pour it very slowly, so it takes 30 seconds. So that's what I'm going to do. Pour it in a little bit at a time. And let's fast forward. And there we go. Let the magic begin, because you ain't gonna believe what this stuff does. I love this super clear, but I love the bentonite too. I don't know which one's better. I just know which one I prefer. So after you add that Cheeto sand, it doesn't say to mix it in. If any of yous do, let me know. I've never done it because it's never specifically said to do it. Only the Casilosol, the first step we did. So here we go. Let's see it work. Now, once you add that Cheeto sand, which is an all natural product, it's made out of shells. Same with the Casilosol. They're working hand in hand together to clarify this. Now, what I'm going to do, this says it works 24 to 48 hours. I like to go a little bit longer, but remember the bentonite, we're going to stir this. I want to stir this for the next 2 days. I'm not going to bore you. It's going to be the same thing. And then what I'm going to do is we'll come back and we'll compare these. So take a look now and let's fast forward. Look at this wine after 24 hours. That super clear did its job. It really could be bottled now. But remember, I said we're going to stir this strawberry. You can see what it's pulling out already. 24 hours, we're going to stir this up. Remember, we want to do this for the next 2 to 3 days, a couple of days, just because we want to break those clumps up and get these particles charged. That's why we're doing this. So again, I'm not going to bore you with this. Let's just come back in 7 days and see what this looks like. We'll be ready to go for sure. So now which one is better? Is the bentonite, which is what we're testing on the strawberry, or is it this super clear that we're using on the banana? A lot of it's going to depend on what you can get. I know some of my international subscribers probably can't get this shipped to them, but bentonite is used for many different things. So I would think everybody can get this. Some of the best wines I've ever made, and I've won awards using this. I think my pineapple wine, that's what I did for this for 30 days. And I've won awards using bentonite also. So they're both great products. So it's been 7 days. Let's just wrap this video up because I want to show you. You can see here the one that we added, that Liquor QUIK. This banana wine is perfect. It's ready to bottle. This strawberry after 7 days, that bentonite's working not as fast as the Liquor QUIK. That's why I like to let it in the bentonite for 30 days. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's only been a week. Let's let it go and finish this. But right now, I wanna bottle this.